Welcome back to America's Voice Live. I'm Amanda Head with Jesse Kelly, and our next guest, we love having him on, Brandon Straka. He's the founder of the Walkaway movement, and God bless this guy because of what he deals with, these protesters. He hosted an event, an LGBT Town Hall, and this is the type of stuff he has to put up with.
We're not getting event shut down. Let's not pretend like, even if it wasn't you directly, that people connected with your way of thinking were responsible.
No, sir. Same thing about children in cages. When did I advocate for that?
Children in cages?
Yeah. You don't advocate for children in cages?
Children in cages.
When did I advocate for shutting down your event? No one has. I don't think that
you started should be in cages.
We're not interested in engaging with you.
You're just interested in standing out here like a bunch of dopes holding signs.
And let's bring in the man himself, Brandon Straka, founder of the Walkaway movement. Welcome to the show, Brandon.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. Brandon, I love the way you deal with these people. You are so direct and you don't put up with any BS. It's amazing. Like you are the perfect ambassador to combat their false narrative. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, it's always fun to have an open and an open dialogue and discussion with people who take the time to get dressed, come out, hold their signs, but don't actually want to have a conversation whatsoever about the very thing that they're so angry about. And what was sort of ironic is that this is a town hall. Like, the whole purpose of the town hall is to have an open forum for people to be able to talk. And if you have a dissenting opinion, this is your big moment. This is your chance to speak and say what it is exactly that you're upset about. But they didn't want to do that. They just wanted to hold their signs and stand out in the cold and object to something that really they were very ignorant about. I mean, when I was trying to have a conversation with them and ask them, why are you protesting today? One of the very first comments that I got was, well, you advocate for children in cages. When I asked them,
oh my gosh,
when did I say that? When have I ever said any such thing? Of course, he didn't have an answer for that. And then the next girl that was there said something about, we're here to show that fascism is not welcome in New York City. And I said, well, I'm confused because it is you who are, in fact, the fascists.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, no, and their level of hypocrisy, it never ceases to amaze me. So give us some of the details about this event. Who helped you host it? Where was it? Give us those details.
Well, okay, so this was the LGBT Town Hall, and originally this was supposed to be at the LGBT Center, which I thought was a great idea and a great venue because the center is really supposed to be a space that's for everybody who falls under the LGBT umbrella. And as we know, the majority of LGBT people, actually more than 80%, are typically voting Democrat. So I thought this will be a great forum and a great space for us to get together and have the conversation and ask the question, why? Like, why are we doing this, and should we be rethinking this? So I filled out the applications. I told them exactly who we were and what we were doing. They understood. They took the payment that was negotiated. We signed contracts. And then next thing I knew, I made an announcement about the event, and we took out an ad in an LGBT magazine. And then several blue checkmark leftists started tweeting about it and saying that the center must cancel this event or that there would be hell to pay. Next thing that we knew, the liberal media got involved, especially the LGBT media sources like Out Magazine, which is a national LGBT magazine, The Advocate, and several other local New York City LGBT sources started doing articles on us saying that Walkaway is a hate group, we're white supremacists. We have my panelists, who, by the way, my panelists were a black gay man, a Jewish gay man, me, and a transgender female. And they said that we're white nationalists, white supremacists, Nazis, Walkaway is a hate group. So then a petition was formed by leftist extremists saying that if the center didn't cancel the event, that they would be boycotted. Next thing we knew, within 24 hours, the center put out a statement on Twitter, never contacted me, never emailed me, never called me, canceled the event on Twitter, stating that they agreed with the petition that we were all of these terrible things, and the event was canceled. We were totally slandered and maligned. We had to scramble to find a new venue, which we did. So that's the space that we had last night. And despite all of the obstacles that we faced, we had an incredible attendance, over 200 people. We're still getting the count. Wow. But it was in the hundreds, and we had an amazing open dialogue and discussion with the LGBT community. And we registered new voters, and we got several switchovers, people switching their registration from Democrat to Republican right there at the event.
Brandon, I see this so much about leftists getting events canceled, leftists trying to shout somebody like you down when you're just trying to have a conversation. And you just mentioned the word bully. They seem like such bullies. It seems like such a bullying mentality, and I don't understand necessarily where they come from on that. Is it just fear of hearing information that they disagree with? Because I see this time and time again. I've seen violence from leftists, and especially if somebody's gay and comes out as a conservative, or black and comes out as a conservative, they are treated absolutely horribly. Where does that come from?
Well, I think it comes from their perception of victimhood, which is, you're right. I mean, it's very interesting because they love to categorize people on, kind of a privilege hierarchy. And, at the bottom of that totem pole, they put people of color, they put LGBT people, they put women, they put transgender people. And the thing is, if you're a gay person or a black person or whatever, you're considered a victim by liberals unless you're the wrong kind of gay or the wrong kind of black, which is to say somebody who thinks for themselves, someone who does not go along with the ideology in lockstep, somebody who perhaps is a conservative, perhaps is a Trump supporter, perhaps is a Republican. If you're any of those things, instantaneously your victimhood status due to your sexual orientation, gender, or color of your skin goes instantly away, and you become an enemy and a pariah to these very communities. That's why they hate us. That's why they hate what we're doing. And that's why they're trying so desperately to stop what we're doing, because we're punching a great big hole in that narrative. And we're kind of tearing that wall down and exposing the truth. The truth behind the curtain, which is that this is all a facade. It's not true. And so, yeah, they didn't want us to be able to get that message out. But, the joke in the end is really going to be on them, because they created such a ruckus and such a hullabaloo around this and went to such extreme measures to label us a hate group. But we recorded this entire event. We hired a videography crew, a sound crew. We have a beautiful recording that we're putting together, and we will be putting this entire event out online for people to watch. And when people see what took place in that room last night and the open and heartfelt conversation, and it wasn't an echo chamber. I mean, there were people there with dissenting opinions, people who came in respectfully expressing their opposing point of views and allowed us a chance to respond. And after we responded, I could see people changing their minds. And when people see that, and see that all of this ruckus that was created by people on the left who were trying to prevent literally just a civilized dialogue from taking place, they will truly be exposed for who and what they are. And you used the word perfectly. They are bullies.
Well, I think this is an incredible event, Brandon. I hope you take this on tour, and I hope you go on the road and you hit every major, not just major, every minor city in the U.S. Go everywhere with it, because it takes an extreme amount of courage. And because of some of the organizations I'm involved with here, a lot of my gay friends are Trump supporters as well. And it's just, I mean, there's no other word for it. It just takes an immense amount of courage. And speaking of courage, I want to show one of the attendees from last night speaking.
Very hard to have a voice, and because then I'm deemed homophobic and transphobic just for being someone that supports Trump, and I voted for Trump, but I can never say that out loud.
It's amazing. And Brandon, it's sad that was the space, that was the only space where he felt comfortable saying that. He couldn't go out on the street in the city and just shout it from the rooftops or wear a MAGA hat. But I could see that look on his face and that feeling of relief and comfort of being around people who, even if they're on the left, they were still respectful of another person's opinion.
We got that comment resoundingly, and I'd say overwhelmingly last night, that there were so many people. I mean, I cannot emphasize enough what an incredible attendance that we had last night. I mean, there were really just hundreds of people there. I was shocked at how many people came out, but time and again, people got up and got behind the microphone and literally said, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. I thought I was alone. I thought I was the only one. I thought, I'm a member of this community too. And these are LGBT people who are just as LGBT as anyone else, but they don't want to be Democrats. They don't want to be liberals. They don't want to go along with this hateful ideology, this anger, this rage of the left, the fake news, the violence, the vitriol. They don't want it, but they feel like they're alone. And now last night, the veil was lifted and they saw, oh my God, we're not alone. I mean, I had a swarm of people around me at the end said, please, let's do this again. Let's do this again. And I said, I promise. And again and again. And to your comment about taking on a tour, that's absolutely going to happen. We will be doing it in Los Angeles in early May. And after what has just been revealed this week with the Jussie Smollett case and all of the corruption in Chicago, you can be certain Chicago is going to be one of our next stops as well.
Brandon, not to get too serious here, but I would be remiss if I didn't point out the fact that you are wearing a hat that I have wanted for a long time, and my wife tells me that I do not have the kind of face or head that can properly wear a hat. I think she's wrong. What do you think?
I think I think she's completely wrong. You can't I'm sure your wife is lovely. I'm sure she's a great woman, but you've got to listen to your own heart and go with your own instincts on this one, because I think that you would look fetching in a white fedora.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. I've got your back.
Okay, so Brandon, I want you to keep us posted on the event that you're hosting here in Los Angeles in May, because as you know, I live here, and I think that would be a really fascinating thing for us to show here on America's Voice. Maybe just come and interview. Dude, I'll help you organize. I don't care. I'm so impressed with you, and I'm so impressed with what you are doing, and I think it's just amazing. So really quickly before we close, tell everybody where they can find you and information about the Walkaway movement.
Thank you. If people want to follow me and what I'm doing, please look me up on social media at US Minority. That's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at US Minority, or YouTube at youtube.com/US Minority. And I highly encourage people to go to walkawaycampaign.com. And there's all the information that they could want about how they can join the movement, how they can volunteer if they would like. And we're grassroots, getting by on a wing and a prayer. For God's sake, if you'd like to donate, we would love that. Go to walkawaycampaign.com and help us out.
Absolutely. We will send everybody there at US Minority. Just type it in everywhere and you can find him. Brandon Straka, founder of the Walkaway Campaign, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll be right back here on America's Voice Live.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Coming up next on America's Voice Live.
Closed captioning for America's Voice is brought to you by Patriot Mobile.
Patriot Mobile gives up to 5% of each